You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah!
Hey guys, welcome to the Playroom. Unicronbot here, and this is the show that's nothing but Transformers news thrown right at your faces. Unfortunately, there isn't much news because we're still in the after effects of Toy Fair, so I only really have like 4 or 5 stories for you, and they're not really big, but let's get started. And the first story being, we got a lot of in-hand images of Takara stuff. We have in-hand images of the Final Battle Megatron, the Viacon General, and the Takara, the last line of the Takara Fall of Cybertron toys. And let's start off with the Prime stuff. I really want this Megatron, but at the same time, I really don't. It's only because it's like, we finally got the Powerizer Megatron with an actual silver paint deco, but whatever isn't painted silver is a grayish tan brown. It's really weird. So I'm not entirely sure if I want this or not. And his hand isn't even a remolded hand. It's quite literally his hand repainted. And that was my phone. So I don't know if I want this or not. Part of me is like really on the fence because I'm like, it's a game, it's a TV accurate Megatron. But the thing is, I don't even need a TV accurate Megatron because I have a custom TV accurate Megatron that I'm completely content with. And just a repainted arm isn't enough for me to want it. So I'm going to have to say I don't think he's really worth the price. And unfortunately, neither is the Viacon General. His paint scheme and the plastic they use is really bland. I mean, like, it's not show accurate. And 2, his armor's not even white or silver. It's that tannish gray that they put on the Final Battle Megatron. And whatever isn't that weird gray is either stickers or a really ugly metallic silver deco. And I'm extremely disappointed in how these guys turned out. I'm really disappointed in how they turned out. It's really upsetting. But moving on, let's look at the Fall of Cybertron on Deluxes. First, I have to say, now that I'm seeing them in comparison, if you want insanely game-accurate figures, then I have to say go for the Takara Tomy versions. The Kickback and the Starscream look exactly like their in-game counterparts. What I realized with the Starscream was, what they did was they made it so that not only would he be video game accurate, but he's also accurate with his IDW comic incarnation. So he has more of a classics feel. And what's it called? The Fireflight, or whatever they want to call him. I honestly like the deco on the American version more, and the same could be said about the Ultra Magnus. However, the Sideswipe, yeah, go for the Takara version. Oh my gosh, people need to stop texting me. I am in the middle of a show! Gah! And in other Takara news, we finally got good in-hand images of Frenzy and Ravage, and they look really cool. But after we got the news that we're getting all 5 cassettes with Soundwave in sometime this summer, I'm not going to pay $90 from Takara. It's still worth it to me, which is a little sad on their part. Alright, so moving on to TV news. The Hub is bringing the G2 show to the Hub, and for those of you who don't know, Transformers Generation 2, the show, is a lot different than the toy line. Generation 2 was actually just the Generation 1 cartoon with some CGI intros and transitions. It really was nothing special. I really don't get why they're releasing this, especially since they already have G1 on their channel. It's really weird. I don't like it. And also, in more toy news, we go back to toy news. A prototype image of the Beast Hunters Voyager Shockwave was released. part of me is like, this is a little late since we already got actual like painted images of him from Toy Fair. But looking at it, we got a good idea of how tall he is and what his whole makeup actually looks like. Pardon me, I'm getting over a cough. That's also why this video is so late. From what it looks like, at the shoulder, he's about around 7 inches tall. He's actually a lot bulkier than his obligatory product shot actually makes him seem. His armor is removable, like we were already told ahead of time. It looks like his hose actually turns into one of his tank treads in his alternate mode, which I think is cool, but I'm hoping that I'm like hoping that it doesn't impede with his articulation like the Dark of the Moon Shockwave's hose did. When I do my video review of him, because you know I'm getting him, I am making sure I compare those two a lot. But overall, yeah, even though we already got like seeing more detailed shots of him, and knowing how he's actually going to be painted, I'm even more excited for this guy, especially due to the fact that his armor is removable. So yeah, get ready, because when I get him, reviewing him on the spot. There's only like one final bit of news I have left today, and it's the 4th Botcon 2013 figure, and it's Obsidian, and he is a retool of the Hunt for the Decepticons Highbrow. Okay, we've been given 4. I repeat, 4 of the 5 figures that are going to be in this set. We've gotten Hoist, Skywarp, Strika, and now Obsidian. Strika is the only one that's worth anything right now. These guys look off. I'm sorry, but Botcon, this is incredibly disappointing. But you know what? I foresaw this because they were taking an extremely high risk when they said that the theme was Machine Wars. They were doing a continuity that barely anyone even remembers. And then on top of that, they're mixing aesthetics. We've had this conversation before. When you mix two aesthetics that just don't go together, it doesn't work. The Generations line is a modernization, but homage to their original versions most of the time, aside from like the video game figures and the IDW figures. But for the most part, they're usually a good homage to the classics. They're a rehash of classics. And then you mix 2 Generations figures with 2 Bayverse figures, specifically Revenge of the Fallen. It doesn't work. I'm sorry. I'm done. I can't. Botcon 2013 might give us a lot of amazing news to talk about, but it looks like their exclusives are mediocre to crap. So I recommend if you do go to Botcon and you get those exclusives, sell them, because frankly they look terrible. And unfortunately, the show's over on that very sad and bad note. But actually, you know what? No, I refuse to let this be the end of the show. I'm going to give you guys some previews as to what I am reviewing next. What I shall be reviewing next is this dude, the Voyager class Beast Hunters Optimus. Much to my not to my dismay with this guy, the Beast Hunters Wheeljack, and I'm not touching him because he scares me, the Beast Hunters Bumblebee, and guess what? I have finally gotten myself the Voyager class Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. Do you know what that means? It means I finally get to do the event that me and Lexatron have been talking about for a while. Get ready, because coming soon, it's Grimlock Week. It's literally 5 days of us just reviewing Grimlock figures. So, get ready for a lot of T-Rexes. This is Unicronobot, and I'm glad you stuck by for the Playroom. Check out our channel. We put up new material every week. This is Unicronobot, signing off.
After all is said